Have you ever felt like no matter how carefully you budget, how hard you work, or how much you try to save, money just seems to vanish? Like it's slipping through your fingers before you even have a chance to hold on to it? It's a frustrating feeling, one that can leave you questioning your choices, your efforts, even your worth. But what if that struggle wasn't just about money itself? What if it had more to do with timing, alignment, and energy? Maybe you're not stuck. Maybe you're standing right at the edge of a breakthrough without even realizing it. What if the universe is always communicating with us, but in ways we don't always notice? What if it's been sending you signals all along, through things you brushed off as random or meaningless? Sometimes these signs show up as numbers, not just any numbers, but deeply symbolic ones. Numbers that carry energy, patterns, and messages meant specifically for you. These aren't lottery numbers or superstitions. They're much more intentional, connected to cycles, vibrations, and purpose. Now, as we move through the middle of May 2025, something rare is happening. A powerful energetic window is opening, a moment in time where alignment becomes easier, clarity becomes sharper, and opportunities begin to reveal themselves. It's a shift you may already be feeling in subtle ways, in your emotions, your thoughts, your intuition. Within this energetic shift, six numbers have emerged. They're not here by accident. They're not lucky guesses. They are here because of alignment, with the energy of this moment, with your personal journey, and with the broader flow of the universe. These numbers may hold the key to something you've been seeking: financial stability, personal growth, or even a deeper sense of purpose. But to unlock that potential, you need to understand what each number is trying to tell you. So let's slow down, take a deep breath, and explore these six numbers together, one by one. Number 9, the energy of completion and clarity. There's something deeply powerful, almost sacred about the number 9. It doesn't just mark the end of a cycle, it represents a profound inner shift. It's the kind of ending that's rich with reflection, not regret. It's the point in your journey where you're no longer stumbling in the dark, but beginning to see with new eyes. The number 9 doesn't bring closure in a cold or final sense. It brings a sense of wholeness, as if all the scattered pieces of your past experiences are finally fitting together. Think about everything you've been through: the lessons learned, the heartbreaks endured, the wins, the losses, the growth that came quietly when no one else was watching. All of that has been building to this moment. The number 9 shows up not as a warning, but as a signal, a signpost that says, you've come far, you've gathered wisdom, and now it's time to use it. In Buddhist philosophy, the number 9 is often associated with detachment, not as an act of giving up, but as a gentle release. It suggests you've reached a stage where you no longer need to cling to what once defined you. You begin to realize that chasing external outcomes, whether it's success, love, money, or recognition, doesn't bring lasting fulfillment. Instead, true peace comes from aligning with your inner truth. When the number 9 begins to appear repeatedly in your life, on clocks, receipts, dates, or even just in your thoughts, it's not random. It's a message from the universe that something within you is ready to evolve. You're being encouraged to let go of what's outdated, the fears that kept you small, the roles you've outgrown, the stories you've told yourself that no longer match who you're becoming. It's not always easy to walk away from the familiar. Even when we know something no longer serves us, comfort can be tempting. But 9 brings with it a quiet courage, the kind that doesn't need approval or applause. It simply knows. It knows when a chapter is done, and it trusts that what comes next will be even more aligned, more true, more free. This is your permission to reflect, to release, and to rise. Not because you're being forced to, but because your soul is ready. The number 9 is here to guide you toward a deeper clarity about who you are, what you're here to do, and how to step forward with both strength and grace. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be willing to let go of what you've already outgrown. Trust that the next step will rise up to meet you, because it will. Number 3, creativity, joy, and authentic expression. The number 3 carries a bright, uplifting energy, the kind that feels like sunlight after a long stretch of cloudy days. It's playful, yet powerful, light-hearted, yet deeply meaningful. When this number begins to show up in your life, it's often a sign that it's time to reconnect with your inner spark, the part of you that creates, laughs, dreams, and dares to be fully, unapologetically yourself. At its core, 3 represents creative energy and motion. It's the number of self-expression, joy and connection. It's the rhythm in music, the color on a canvas, the words in a story, the laughter in a conversation. It's the childlike wonder that still lives inside you, even if it's been buried beneath responsibilities and routines. This number invites you to let that part of yourself breathe again. In many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism, the number 3 symbolizes the trinity of body, mind, and spirit, a reminder that true harmony comes from honoring all aspects of who you are. When these 3 elements are aligned, you feel whole, inspired, and at peace. You create not for perfection or praise, but because it feels natural, fulfilling, and alive. When you keep seeing the number 3, the universe might be nudging you to stop hiding your gifts. It's asking you to stop doubting your voice, your ideas, your creativity. Maybe you've been holding back, waiting for the perfect moment, fearing judgment, or telling yourself you're not ready. But the truth is, you are. Your ideas deserve space. Your voice deserves to be heard, and your light deserves to shine. 3 also carries a social vibration. It encourages collaboration, communication, and community. This isn't a time to isolate yourself. It's a time to reach out, to share, to connect with others in meaningful ways. You don't have to walk your path alone, whether it's through art, writing, speaking, teaching, or simply being more open and honest in your daily life. 3 reminds you that your presence has impact. And let's not forget the joy. The number 3 invites you to bring more play into your life, not because you're avoiding seriousness, but because joy is a spiritual force in itself. It heals, it expands, it attracts abundance. When you're in a state of joy, you open doors that hard work alone could never unlock. So if the number 3 has been showing up for you, take it as a call to return to what lights you up. Dance, create, speak, laugh, tell your story, share your heart, and above all, give yourself permission to be fully, authentically you. This is your moment to be seen, not for who you think you should be, but for who you truly are. Number 17, discipline, patience, and karmic return. The number 17 carries with it a quiet strength, a grounded, steady energy that speaks of progress made not through sudden bursts, but through steady steps. It isn't flashy or loud. It doesn't demand immediate results. Instead, it reminds you that some of the most meaningful things in life take time, and that the work you're doing behind the scenes, the effort, the discipline, the intention, is creating more than you can yet see. This number shows up when you're being asked to stay the course. When life feels slow or uncertain, when it seems like your effort isn't being recognized or rewarded, 17 gently assures you, you're not behind, you're building. It speaks to the quiet work of growth, the kind that's happening beneath the surface, like roots spreading deep before the flower breaks through the ground. Numerologically, 17 breaks down to 1 plus 7 equals 8, and the number 8 is a powerful symbol of mastery, particularly in the realms of abundance, responsibility, and karma. It's the number of balance, of cycles coming full circle. In many traditions, 8 is the number of financial stability, leadership, and the kind of success that lasts because it's built on a solid foundation. When 17 shows up, it's a reminder that you're not just chasing temporary wins. You're creating something sustainable, meaningful, and aligned with your long-term purpose. There's also a karmic element here. 17 carries the energy of return, not necessarily in an instant, but inevitably. What you've sown through your actions, your choices, and your integrity is finding its way back to you. This is the kind of karma that doesn't punish. It teaches. It rewards you for showing up, staying true, and choosing growth, even when it's hard. You may be in a phase of life that feels repetitive or even thankless. Maybe you're putting in the work day after day, wondering if anyone notices, if anything is really changing. The number 17 appears to remind you that your effort matters. Your consistency matters. Even if no one else sees the progress, the universe does. You're not stuck. You're being seasoned. You're not stalling. You're being prepared. It's also a call to trust your timing. Comparison will only distract you from your path. Just because someone else's journey looks faster or flashier doesn't mean it's more solid. You're building something meant to last. That takes time. That takes patience. That takes faith in yourself and the process unfolding. So if 17 has been showing up in your life, see it as a reassurance. Your path is not random and your progress is not invisible. Keep going. Keep choosing discipline over distraction, purpose over panic, and trust over fear. Because your breakthrough isn't just coming, it's already on its way. Number 26, purposeful growth and emotional balance. There's a quiet wisdom in the number 26, a calm, grounded energy that doesn't rush or shout, but instead invites you to pause, breathe, and reflect. In a world that often celebrates hustle and noise, 26 is a gentle reminder that not all progress is loud, and not all success comes from pushing harder. Sometimes the most meaningful growth happens when you choose to slow down and truly connect with yourself, your values, and the life you're creating. This number is made up of two powerful vibrations. The number 2 brings the energy of peace, balance, and compassion. It asks you to soften, to listen more deeply, and to nurture your emotional well-being. It's about relationships, not just with others, but with yourself. It reminds you that patience, understanding, and harmony are just as important as ambition. The number 6, on the other hand, is about care, responsibility, and devotion. It's the energy of the heart, the part of you that wants to protect, uplift, and be of service to others. It's also about taking ownership of your life, your choices, your energy, and the environments you create for yourself and those around you. Together, 2 and 6 form 26, a number that gently pushes you toward a deeper, more intentional way of living. It doesn't ask for grand gestures or sudden leaps. Instead, it encourages thoughtful steps forward, decisions made from alignment rather than urgency. When 26 begins to show up in your life, it may be a sign that you've been operating in survival mode for too long. Perhaps you've been chasing, reacting, doing whatever it takes to keep up, but at the cost of your emotional balance or inner peace. This number is your reminder that it's okay to let go of that constant pressure. You don't have to prove yourself by burning out. True abundance, emotional, spiritual, even financial, often begins the moment you stop chasing and start aligning. That means asking yourself hard but healing questions. What actually matters to me? Where do I feel most myself? What am I building and why? 26 is not about staying still. It's about moving with intention. It's about growing in ways that are sustainable, meaningful, and rooted in your core values. It asks you to trust that you don't need to force your path. You only need to find your rhythm. So if this number keeps appearing, see it as an invitation to come back to center, to check in with your heart, to choose peace over pressure, clarity over chaos, and purpose over performance. You're not falling behind. You're being guided toward a way of life that feels softer, truer, and more aligned. And that in itself is powerful. The number 15 shows up quietly, almost like a gentle breeze rather than a loud call. It's not about sudden or dramatic change, but about subtle, meaningful shifts happening deep within. When 15 appears in your life, it's a reminder that transformation doesn't always have to be chaotic or overwhelming. It can be calm, intentional, and deeply healing. At its core, 15 is about spiritual clarity and inner balance. It encourages you to take a step back and look honestly at your emotions and thoughts. What mental clutter have you been carrying around? What old fears, doubts, or limiting beliefs no longer serve you? This number invites you to release these burdens, not all at once, but steadily, with care and compassion for yourself. 15 also speaks to the power of transition. Life often moves in cycles, and this number signals that you're in the midst of one such cycle. It's a time to let go of what you've outgrown, whether that's habits, relationships, or ways of thinking, and to make space for something more authentic, more aligned with who you really are. Balance is key here. 15 reminds you that change doesn't mean losing yourself or rushing into the unknown. Instead, it's about thoughtful, measured steps that honor both your mind and your spirit. It supports you in finding calm amidst any upheaval, grounding you so you can navigate transitions with grace and confidence. If you keep encountering the number 15, take it as an invitation to slow down and tune in. Clear the emotional and mental noise. Create space for your true self to emerge. Trust that this process, though quiet and gradual, is preparing you for a brighter, more peaceful chapter ahead. The number 35 carries a dynamic and deeply inspiring energy, blending the creative, expressive essence of the number 3 with the adventurous, transformative power of the number 5. When this number begins to show up in your life, it's a clear sign that you are standing on the edge of an important evolution. It signals a moment not of reckless change or chaos, but of intentional growth and mindful transformation. A turning point where you are invited to step forward with both courage and clarity, even if the entire path isn't fully visible yet. Creativity is at the heart of the number 3's influence. This is the energy of imagination, communication, joy, and authentic self-expression. It's the spark that ignites new ideas, new ways of being, and new ways of sharing your unique gifts with the world. The number 5, on the other hand, brings with it the energy of change, freedom, and exploration. It encourages adaptability, curiosity, and the willingness to embrace the unknown. Together, these numbers create a powerful blend that supports you in not just dreaming about transformation, but actively making it happen. When 35 appears in your life, it's a gentle but powerful message. You have within you the creative power and the boldness needed to begin again. This beginning might be related to a new project, a shift in your mindset, a change in your relationships, or a fresh direction in your career or personal life. The key is that this isn't about jumping blindly into the unknown or making impulsive decisions. It's about taking deliberate, thoughtful steps forward with a sense of purpose and awareness. There's often fear or uncertainty that comes with new beginnings. It's natural to want a clear roadmap before making a move, but 35 reminds you that readiness doesn't mean having all the answers. Sometimes it means trusting the process, trusting yourself, and being willing to take the next step, even if the full journey isn't yet clear. This trust is sacred. It opens doors, invites opportunity, and allows the universe to support your path. The number 35 also highlights the importance of mindful action. It's not about rushing or forcing change, but moving with intention. Each small, conscious decision you make builds momentum and brings you closer to where you're meant to be. It encourages patience with yourself and your process, knowing that growth often happens gradually, in stages, and with reflection. This number carries a hopeful and empowering energy, the courage to begin anew. It reminds you that every ending holds the seed of a fresh start, and every fresh start is a chance to rewrite your story in alignment with your highest purpose. It invites you to release old doubts, fears, and limitations that may be holding you back, and to embrace the new possibilities waiting to unfold. So if you've been seeing 35 repeatedly, take it as a sign from the universe, a sacred invitation to step into your power, trust your creative instincts, and move forward with confidence. Your readiness is your open door, and this is your moment to embrace transformation, welcome new beginnings, and create the life you truly desire. The journey ahead may not be fully clear yet, but with the energy of 35 guiding you, you can walk forward with faith, courage, and a deep knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. This is your time to begin again, and to do so with purpose, passion, and joy. To wrap it all up, these numbers aren't just random or magical shortcuts. They're meaningful signals, mirrors reflecting the energy and opportunities you're moving toward. As May moves forward, pay close attention to which of these numbers show up in your life, in conversations, signs, or even in your thoughts. When they do, take a moment to pause and tune in. Reflect on where you are and where you want to be. Use these moments to realign your focus and energy. True abundance doesn't come from forcing things or pushing against the current. It comes from finding your flow and moving with it. It's about trusting the process and knowing that when you align with your purpose and timing, everything starts to fall into place naturally. Now take a deep breath and say this affirmation with intention. I am aligned with the abundance meant for me. If this message speaks to you, help support the growth of the Buddhism Mindset community by liking, subscribing, and sharing your own intentions in the comments below. Your energy and participation make a difference.